Hi guys, so today's video, we're back guys, sitting down talking to you. Like, how do you feel?
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Okay, so I put out on my Snapchat what did you guys want to see us record and release, and someone said a topic that I had already said to EJ, and randomly this person just said this topic, and I was like, okay, maybe that's confirmation. So it was sex before marriage. The person wrote this. It said, it applies to both men and women, yet men, or boys should I say, feel they need to taste everything before settling down. Why do you think that is?
Is it just guys, yeah? I'm sure.
Well, it was a girl that asked that written, so she's probably saying it from a girl's perspective.
Because girls be, don't want to say footing and bopping, but girls be sampling, you know? They be, going to that restaurant where you're trying to get the taster menu. So it's not just guys. But I understand why you would say that, and I understand why, let's play devil's advocate, so to speak, whereby worst case scenario, we was at an event and they were like, oh, like you're waiting till marriage, cool. But then what if your husband is a deadbeat? Then what? If anyone's wondering, what does that mean? Say you have sex for the first time or first few times and it's like pants. Then what? The response was, well, obviously I'm willing to work on it with him, for him to understand my body, vice versa, to make sure that it's the best ever sex I've ever had. And I respect that, Obviously, as believers, we know that you're not meant to wait until marriage. I testified that I didn't do that because I was a heathen. It just is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up for past doings. I've seen the light, so to speak. But I know better, doing it wrong. And I think the good thing for me is when we got engaged, or even before that actually, when obviously she rededicated her life and I gave my life to Christ, and that it was like, nah man, we're not doing this corner business. We're actually going to wait for the prize. And I thought for me, it was brilliant being able to wait that long. And I feel like we was able to connect on a deeper level, on a spiritual level. Because sometimes I believe that, having sex prematurely or having sex before marriage can cloud judgment, especially if sex becomes that thing whereby that's your only so-called saving grace in a relationship. It's like you're not getting on well, but you think, right, sex is good, I'm going to stay.
Brother, you're rushing the video, man. You're going from one thing to another, to another, to another.
Okay, I'm just speaking my mind. Is that
alright, go on and speak your mind.
Guys, she acts like she always brings structure to videos, She doesn't. It's always me that's like, oh, we need to structure this. But anyways, it's okay. You lot have seen the real sweat there, innit? Go on, carry on.
You lot always see the real me. When people have sex before marriage, I just feel like it's because it's like the unforbidden fruit, innit? Is that what it's... No, sorry. It's the forbidden fruit. No, literally, I think it's because it's the forbidden fruit. I feel like if you tell someone that they can't have something, can't do something, a lot of times people want to do it, or want to have it, or want to know why. And a lot of times, especially when we're younger growing up, people tell you, not to have sex and stuff like that, but they don't necessarily explain why, or explain the meaning of sex, if that makes sense. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm now knowledgeable, I understand sex to be a ministry and a spiritual act. Yes, it's an act that we do in the physical, but we do it in the physical, it translates into the spiritual. I also believe that, sex is spiritually binding, and a lot of times we find that we are all clingy onto someone that we've slept with, especially for females, just because we're wired that way, that we're emotionally affected by things. And
I want to interject on that one. It's not just females. Yes, maybe because females are more emotional beings, so to speak. But remember,
I was gonna say men as well. I said especially females, but it's okay.
No. Okay, let me just add my 50p or 50 pence. It's all sexual transmitted demons, as I call it. It's soul ties. So the moment you slept with someone, you've basically become married to them, technically. According to biblical texts.
But that's what I'm saying. So in biblical texts, sex, I think I'll add the scripture here somewhere. In the word, basically, when somebody had sex with a lady, that was basically the act that showed that they were married.
Abraham and Sarah, wasn't it?
Was it Abraham and Sarah?
Positive.
There was no, we walked down the aisle and said our vows, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember it was like, Abraham entered Sarah, and
and therefore she was his and he was hers, or something like that. But yeah, so it kind of shows that, you know, when you do have sex, physically your bodies are marrying each other. They're literally becoming like interlinked. But even when you, okay, not in a dirty way, but deep it, when something enters you, it's like you now are fused together.
In a dirty way. No, joking. I didn't say that.
I don't even understand what you just said. But anyway, what did you say?
I said in a dirty way. It doesn't matter. Just edit it out. Anyways.
But yeah, as I was saying, so you're like fused together. So imagine that in the spirit. And the thing is, now I can talk from both points because of course I've said many times, had sex before marriage, wasn't a virgin, blah blah blah. And now I know what it's like to have marital sex. I understand what God meant when he said sex was meant to be between man and wife. It makes so much sense because to me it's like the passion behind sex when you're married is mad. It's literally like ministry, you know. It's just like spark, sweat, flash, and nene at the end. Literally. I just feel like I personally couldn't compare sex before marriage as sex during marriage. I feel like it was so much more fleshy and lustful, and again I think it's to satisfy those bodily feelings, if that makes sense.
Satisfy the flesh, most certainly.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's because, again, when something's done according to what its purpose is for, that's when you will truly and fully enjoy it to the fullest of its capacity. Whereas with sex, obviously, it's meant to be done inside of marriage. Don't get me wrong, people turn around and be like, well, I don't believe in marriage, yada, 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 and fair enough.
We're talking from a Christian perspective.
Again, we're talking from a, biblical perspective, a Christian perspective, and what we believe in at the end of the day. But yeah, I think for me personally, the fact, someone that's had sex, outside of marriage, to now obviously, what's the word, being
married?
No, not even that. When you go without having sex, what's the word?
Abstinent.
Being abstinent, obviously, with me and Swade, when we obviously rededicated our lives to Christ and that.
We abstained for like, was it 2 years? Yeah, it was like 2 years.
But yeah, even that. Can you imagine, like, that's deep. You're used to having sex, and you're like, no, I'm not going to have sex until I'm married. That's a mazza, but we've spoken about that plenty of times, so
for me,
check out our previous videos.
I've never spoken about my testimony. I've never really given it, but I will one day when I get the balls. But for me, like, being abstinent was like the best thing possible for me, because I was heavily bound by a spirit of lust and a spirit of sexual perversion, I'd say. So for me, beforehand, having married out of sex, I think I was heavily under the influence of lust. I was heavily like influenced by, as I said, satisfying my flesh, like those moments of pleasure. And the reality is that you could have sex for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour even, and while you're doing it, you'll think, oh yeah, this is amazing or whatever. And then when you're done, it's just like, what the hell? You feel like dirt. Like, why did you do that? Like, there's been many times when I felt like trash. Like, even with EJ, prior to us being saved, like, I wouldn't say nothing, but in my heart, like, I'd feel so trashy and so cheap and dirty, or like I need to shower. And it's because, that's not what God meant for sex to be. He didn't mean for it to be something that you do just because you feel like it, or something that you do just because you want to pleasure your boyfriend or someone that you're seeing or someone that you find attractive. He meant for it to minister. Like, he meant for it to be a moment where it's like almost like your souls realign. Imagine that. Like, deep what I just said. When God created sex between a husband and wife, he meant for it to be like the realigning of the souls of a man and wife. That's deep. Like, imagine realigning with Leroy that you just met a week ago, that you don't even know like that.
No, that's a real pause.
Like, it made me just have a moment and think like, swords, man. back in them days, what was you doing? Samazza.
It's like, when you think about it, well, when I think about it, I'm like, wow, man, all those girls I had sex with, man, I wish I could have unsexed them. But don't get me wrong, it's done now.
I like that word, unsexed them.
It's done now. I can't beat myself up about it. I just thank God I've matured and, you know, become the man I've become today, you know. And if you are someone who, because you know, we do get messages from time to time when I see stuff like in the dialogue people send us and say, oh, you know, I had sex with this person and they feel really bad. Don't beat yourself up about it. You know, it's done now, isn't it? You know, we don't look back, we look forwards. You know, and we use yesterday's lessons, because I don't believe, even though you mean, I don't want to say mistakes, but yesterday's lessons, you know, for tomorrow's blessings or for tomorrow's wisdoms. You know, so. You know, don't beat yourself up. There isn't. Tomorrow's a new day, and you'll probably look back a year down the road, 2 years, and like, was this what I was, you know, crying over?
But it's how what you're gonna do to change it. Like, we can always say, yeah, like, don't beat yourself up, and it's true, don't beat yourself up. But it gets deeper than just don't beat yourself up. It's like, what is driving you to do that? Do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like every single time I had sex prior to being married, there was a reason, there was a void I was trying to fill, there was some type of you know, self-unworthiness that I was trying to fill up, or do you know what I mean, or some type of security I was trying to fill, or some type of I feel like I can like, you know, sometimes with girls, you know, sometimes if you lack that feeling of love, for example, you might be like, in that moment of having sex, like, I can make a boy, like, it feels like this person loves me. Do you get what I mean? Or it will be like, yeah, I'm going to have sex with him, and while we're having sex, it's like, oh, I feel so wanted or so needed. Or even me being able to pleasure him, I feel like, wow, I'm so strong and I've got that ability to make someone else feel good about themselves, so that must make me feel powerful. There's so many reasons why people have sex, and sometimes it's not even because they're enjoying it. I've spoken to many people and I've been there, and it's not all the time because you enjoy it, but I feel like it's something deeper within, and it's a brokenness that, for me, being abstinent showed me only God could fill. Like, when we abstained, oh my days, God dealt with me, you know. He really beats me back, because all the issues EJ and I used to have, that we used to kind of cover over with sex, and even previous to EJ, both of us, like our previous partners, whatever.
Non-partners as well. Sorry, just throwing that out there.
Huh?
I said non-partners as well, but you go carry on.
Oh, non-partners as well. Like, I feel like God was really stripping me back and saying to me, look, everything you've done, like, these are the reasons why you did it. You know, you were doing this because you wanted to feel powerful, or you wanted to feel like you were in control of that situation, but you weren't, when truly it was just giving you more bondage, you know. I don't know, I'm going to ask permission first one day and make sure EJ is okay with it, but I'm just going to quickly mention that. Someone that I was with in the past, like, I believe heavily that he caused me to, not caused it, because he didn't force me to do nothing, but I mean, like, spiritually, I feel like it's like a transferring of spiritual bondage, and I definitely feel like he was one of the people, demons. Yeah, sexually transmitted demons, literally. I feel like he's one of the people that definitely gave me a mad spirit of lust. Mad.
Did you say dab?
Yeah, because I'm dabbing because I'm over it now. Take that, enemy. But yeah, but I think he gave me a mad spirit of lust, and it was only after I had rededicated my life to Christ, been praying, fasting, and got deliverance, that I realised, I was reflecting hard, like, when did I start doing things like this, and when did I start thinking about stuff like that, and when did I start, you know, watching things like that. And that's when I said, bruh, it's like God just said to me, remember. And it just made me pray for him, really, and pray for myself, and make sure that God severed every attachment of you know, or any spiritual attachment that I had to anyone else at the time, even EJ. Like, every single person that I had ever even, and it's not only just sex, but anyone that I had tried to thought that I was in love with, or you know, like, just any type of relationship, friendship, man and womanship that wasn't godly, I prayed for severing of all those attachments. And I'd encourage everyone that's trying to you know, align their footsteps with things of God, to pray that prayer and ask God to sever every attachment of every individual that you have a spiritual soul tied to that's ungodly. And yeah, hopefully that will be at your first step to breaking out of those lust chains or any chain that's holding you back.
Do you know what? For a guy, I think it's a bit different because I feel like when you're young, from like when you're year 7, it's almost a pressure's on you to be like almost who's like one of the first people to like lose their virginity. I remember growing up from school days, there was like a pressure, like I don't know if it came from society, maybe from society as well, you know, but in school, growing up on the ends, or when I say ends, obviously in my area that I grew up in, all this in London, I think people experience it in any country, whatever. But there was that onus as a guy to, you know, almost as to be seen as a man, you had to lose your virginity. It sounds so weird, but it was like there was something in the air. Like I can't explain it, but I genuinely felt like. 'Cause I remember like some of my boys lost their virginity in year 8. That's wild, you know. When I think about it, like that's mad. You probably just about started producing sperm and you're trying to have sex.
It's so nuts because you know how frigid I was.
But then again, you're saying you're frigid. Okay, cool. Luckily for you, you was frigid those times.
Do boys get frigid?
I would say more bougie. I'll get onto that. But yeah, so you know, you're just about to start and produce sperm. Or some of you haven't even produced sperm, but you can get erected and you're, you know, doing juk or having sex, whatever. But no, listen, there's even though I can laugh now, but thinking about that pressure's nuts. Like almost like, oh well, you had sex yet, like or it's weird. And obviously for me, I kind of lost my virginity a bit young. Well, some people might say it's old, but I lost it when I was like 14, 15. And I'm like, when I think about it now, I'm like, okay, yeah, I was a horny teenager, so at the time I was like, yeah, cool, I'm having sex. But when I think about it, I'm like, you know, when I deep it, when you have sex, that's with an intention to produce a child. Like, let's have a pause Salah moment. You know, sex is there for procreation, right?
Yeah. So it's like without even
I'm technically saying with every girl that I'm sleeping with, I'm potentially willing to have children.
Potentially ready to be
so
there.
When
your baby's there.
I could be end up being that statistic of potentially a guy that's had babies from how many women. When you process it, it's actually nuts. But I think when you're going through it, you don't really pay much attention. There's sometimes like, you know, myself and some other guys I know, we play some risky games. You know, oh yeah, the condom's not there, or the condom's split. But because you're so lost in the sauce, so to speak, you're like, oh yeah, but it. Then obviously, oh my days, like, boom.
That's like when people say stuff like, oh yeah, so they need you like goals that you did it the right way. I'm just like, listen, it's only by God's grace.
And it is.
Only by God's grace, because I could have been... Imagine if all the Russian roulettes you played in the days when we weren't saved, I could have had like 5 kids for you or something by now.
Can you imagine?
Like I'm just saying I could have. I'm not saying.
No. Yeah.
Nova was my first baby in the bun in the oven and all that by the grace of God. But I'm just saying the way I was playing it was only by God's grace, and probably God foresaw where He was taking us to or what was going to happen.
And just hold that thought. And just what I was saying, I remember it was so weird because we were talking about sex before marriage. I remember there was one time I was having like a discussion amongst like a group of us, and I think at the time I was like 17, and I remember one of the guys in the group hadn't had sex. But it was so, I felt, when I think about it, I'm like how dare, like, anyone try to ridicule him, like, it was like, oh, like, you're not a man, like, you're a little boy, like, you scared, obviously, it's weird, just like, it was weird, but when I think, I'm like, how can you, like, when I look back, I actually respect that, and it wasn't really because he was a person of any faith, whatever, he just, I don't know, just didn't,
have the opportunity.
Oh, no, I think he did, but he just didn't want to, maybe, he wanted to do it for the right person, so to speak, I don't know. When I look about it now, when I hear about people say, oh yeah, they waited till my I'm like, nah man, like hats off to you.
Special.
Like I genuinely wish, like Lord knows, like if I could have gone back in time, but obviously I believe what's happened has happened, you know, I believe it's I've learned a lot, you know.
If we didn't do what we did, then how would we be able to make this video right now, right?
Exactly, on passing what we've learned. But if I could have waited, I would have loved to have waited for Mrs. Jones, you know, that's just me personally just saying that because I feel like...
Me too.
Not in a rude way, but... Really,
it's just like you just wasted like...
No, that's it.
But it's like in that moment you don't see it as a waste. You think it's like lit.
Do you know what it is? Because you want that instant gratification, and it's like as guys will tell you, it's like even when which one day we should do a video on maybe masturbation. I don't know. It depends on how things go. But even like say when you're a guy,
the majority of my testimony.
Mad, and you're a guy, and then you know obviously you do your thing in it, you beat your meat, so to speak. And I think you feel like a waste, man. I remember we've had conversations like with me and brothers or guys that my good friends and that. We talk about. I'm like it's so like you do it and you're like yeah. When it's done, it's like
yeah, it's because you
feel
wanna
so
just feel that
nasty.
release.
Like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
you feel like a bit of a waste, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's just.
For those of you that are having sex out of wedlock and all that stuff, like once it's done, like how do you feel? As in, do you feel good? Do you feel like it satisfied, whatever it is? Are you having sex because you feel pressurized to, or because you're in a relationship and you don't know what else to do? But it's like, don't use sex as something to fill in the gap or fill in the missing bit of the relationship. I feel like specifically in EJ and I's relationship prior to being saved, I did that a lot. You know, if we couldn't discuss something or smooth over a situation through communication, because we lacked in communication, I'd fill it with sex.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
If
So we
in
have an
doubt,
argument.
have a good session.
Well, you know what? Let's just
pam 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 pam.
let's just bang it out. Do you get what I mean? I didn't. That sounded even worse.
Ah,
I was
pam,
trying
pam,
to. Shh, it's Nova sleeping, man.
Sorry, I got carried away.
But yeah, let's just, work it out. So for me personally, I would say to you guys, take time. Your body is a temple. Listen to people that are telling you that. Try it. Listen, virgins out there, men and women, girls and boys. It's such a beautiful thing to be a virgin.
No, for real.
It is.
No,
and I'm not saying to those people that have lost their virginity that are, you're not special. Because I lost my virginity out of wedlock. Do you understand what I'm saying? However, I'm just saying, if you are a virgin, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hold on to it because it's such a blessing. Literally, it's a blessing. It's such a beautiful thing. And who wants soul ties if they don't need any? Like...
No, literally,
really.
And like just to echo and add on to that, I know we've mentioned it before. Don't beat yourself up. Like one thing I love what Jesus said to Mary Magdalene. I'm sure it was Mary Magdalene. He said to her, you know what? Sin no more. That's it. You're forgiven. Your sins are washed. Please, just sin no more. Go about and live your life. So
I tried to be Mary Magdalene.
Even if you've done wrong or X, Y, and Z. Look at Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul was a murderer. But he was a mighty man of God. You know what I mean? We can fall short of God's grace and glory on so many occasions, but remember, God, we serve God who still loves us.
Amen.
So don't beat yourself up, guys. Like if you've done something that you deem, how people may perceive or look at me. Remember who you are. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're chosen. You're called from a point in time.
Amen.
But
yeah, there's so much more we want to say. As I said, it'll probably be a series, so we'll probably speak more on this topic. In a following video. But yeah, write down below, guys, what you think about this video.
Yes.
Write down your experience if you don't mind sharing it. I know that this is going to be speaking to a lot of people, and if you don't need any support, help, or someone to talk to, message me, Snapchat, DM me, email us. If you want it to be private, just write in your subject, please keep this private. Our email is
teamswoduel@hotmail.com. Just want to add one last thing. So I'm thinking, depending on what you guys think, please comment. So, talking about the benefits of being abstinent. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I saw a video on the Breakfast Club, and there was a guy, and he's of no faith. In fact, he's a gay guy, and he said that he found so much benefits from being abstinent. I just wanted to write, if you guys are interested, why we'll do a video on the benefits behind that, because there are so many benefits to waiting, to holding up for a period of time. They say that it clears your mind, it makes your judgment more improved, but I don't want to talk too much into that. So
I just feel like we wouldn't be in this seat today if we did not be abstinent.
100%.
No way. Like, I'm almost 100% certain. So listen to us, guys, because I've did out of marriage and I've done it in marriage. So I feel like I'm giving you a sound advice. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this has been helpful. It's been kind of all over the place, but hopefully you don't like it. It's a bit out there, but I like to talk about real things, so hopefully we get more real and real.
2018, keep it real, really the most.
But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We love you. Rate, comment, subscribe, like, and make sure you follow me on Snapchat because I stay talking to you lot, and that's where we get our discussions.